Good morning, y'all. I had a um I had a message that just popped up, and I don't know. It was like a warning, but it disappeared. So I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I was trying to read it. How are you guys doing? I know for me, Wednesday has crept up on me. I woke up this morning. I was like, wait, it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Wow. This week is almost over. Like we're at the midpoint of this week already. I just feel like we just entered into it. It's just I don't know. Is it happening fast for you guys? Like I, y'all know I'm about to go to the calendar. What today is the 27th. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Hold up. Wait, hold up. I'm gonna have to check my phone calendar because I think this is lying to me. It has to be lying to me. Oh, shoot. Uh, hold up. Oh, it's not lying. Okay, y'all, we're about to be in May. We're, I don't know. Time is flying. I can't get over it. So y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Maybe for you, and I hope that that's the case. It seems like things aren't going by as fast as it's going for me, but it is flying by for me. And I'm just like, just watching it just pass by. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, today, y'all, we're gonna get into it a little bit. Uh, we're gonna talk about resistance. Obviously, that was the title of it. What are you resisting? Why are we talking about this? Because resistance is a huge thing. It is a major obstacle that people have in their lives that sometimes they don't even know that they're facing it, and that is the thing that is keeping them from experiencing the fullness that life has to offer. So we've got people that are asking for things, they're praying for things, they're believing for things, they're desiring things, but that resistance is in the way of them actually getting over to the other side. And so I really wanted to talk about that with y'all because this week, it always comes from something, right? This week, this past week, let me say, this past week has been full of lessons for me and growth and realization and and awareness all surrounding the resistance that I've held on to and that I've had, and that I didn't even know that it was. I'm not gonna say that I didn't know that it was present because I did, but at the same time, I wasn't really trying to pay attention to it. And I was trying to work on it in other ways, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, I was I wasn't really facing the problem, like getting down to the heart of the problem. I was looking at the things that were outside of the problem. And so the other things that were connected to the problem, that's what I was focused on rather than actually getting to the root and the heart of the issue. And this was the thing that brought me to the realization of just like, wow, this is something that needs to be discussed because a lot of us are looking at the things that are attached to the problem, but we're not really getting to the heart of the issue. And I know that it may be something like this isn't when we talk about growth, first of all, right? Growth One, let's just be honest, growth is not something that comes easy. It's not something that isn't painful. It's not something that you don't feel. Like, it's not a walk in the park. I'm just jumping. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got a message that shucks, that my sister and brother-in-law are on the way to labor and delivery because obviously my nephew is choosing to come. Okay, so sorry, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited because we're about to be going. We're about to be going once this is done. We're gonna be heading up to the hospital if that, if it's actually today. So pray for them, y'all, and pray for them, and pray for my nephew. I'm excited. Okay, so that that's not something that is just easy. It's not a walk in the park. It's not like you're out here just smelling flowers and just dancing, and under the sun when you're experiencing growth. It's not. Growth is something that stretches you. So when we talk about these things and we bring awareness to the stuff that could potentially be holding us back, it's not going to feel good. Let me just preface this. It's not going to feel good. You are not going to be like, wow, ah, yes, I got to work through this. Oh my gosh, yes. No, no. It's going to feel like a punch in the gut, the things that you're going to see. But that is a good thing. Take it as a good punch because then, it's like, in anything, even in boxing, right? So you're in there, you're in the ring, and some people be getting tore up, right? So you see it, and they just getting punched. They just like, whoa, oh my gosh! Then the person gets knocked out. He falls to the ground. Okay, he lost this. All right, he's walking away. But then after that loss, right? After that knockout session that he had, now the healing can start to happen, right? Now he can sit there and evaluate, next time I'm not going to do this. Next time I'm going to do something different. Next time, I saw how he was coming in there with the jab. I wasn't prepared. So next time I'm going to do this. This is what it is. This is how we grow. We can evaluate where we think we went wrong, what happened, or whatever it is, but we're only evaluating to be able to now apply it going forward. We're not evaluating to now cause condemnation, to cause blame, to sit there and say, I should have done this. I ain't do this good enough. I didn't. That's not what we're doing. We y'all know I don't do that. We don't go in the past to just dwell on it. If we're going in the past, the only reason why we're doing that is to evaluate, to draw out the lessons, and to apply it going forward. So this is the thing. If you aren't getting to the problem in the heart of the issue and understanding that this is the thing that we should be working on and working through, how can you start to heal? How can you become a better person? How can you start to apply those lessons, start to apply the things that you've learned if you have not allowed yourself to learn anything? This is why it is so important for us to get to the heart of the issue. It may not feel good. It may not be something that you want to even be aware of as far as, seeing all the things that you need to work on or whatever it may be. But it is important. It is important for you to understand and to start really evaluating your life and seeing and realizing what is and what is not serving you. What is it that is in your life that has no life left in it? There's a lot of times that we are holding on to things, whether it be the soul sucking job that you're at, whether it be the relationship that isn't going anywhere anymore, whether it be your own beliefs and the habits that you have. So often we have habits that don't serve us. If we sit back and we actually evaluate the habits that we have, and then we look at, just like we talk about, our highest and best self, and we connect those two, and we try to say, okay, well, are these habits getting me closer to that highest and best version of myself, or is it pulling me further away? These are the evaluating questions. These are the ways that we evaluate the circumstances. These are the ways that we evaluate and determine whether these things are serving us or they're not. And then we have to do the tough part. This is where the tough part comes. I mean, bringing awareness is tough because it hurts. It's like, oh, I'm not as great as what I thought I was. That's the initial thing, right? It's like, ooh, I got some stuff to work on. But honey, please, we all have stuff to work on. And it is a continuous thing. Even when you've worked on that thing that you've identified, then guess what? God's just going to bring to your awareness something else that you need to work on and work through. It does not end. And if it ended, then there wouldn't be any more growth. So welcome those things. It's not where, I'm not as good as what I thought, even though that may be the initial thought. That's not true. You're just like everybody else. Everybody has things to work on and work through, and it is okay. It is okay. These things are only being brought to your awareness and being brought to the forefront because it's stuff to make you better. That's what we want. We want to become better. So start getting into the habit of welcoming these things. Hey, how you doing? Look, come into my space. Make me new. It's okay. I want to know the problem areas. As much as it may hurt at first, as much as it may sting at first, I want to know what it is that I need to work on or I need to work through so that I can become that better person. So before, I know that was like a quick rundown of what it is that we were going to be talking about. But I got to pray, y'all. That's what I got to pray. So, dear Lord, thank you for everything that you've done for us and everything that you continue to do for us. Thank you for the message that I just received saying that my nephew may be on the way, Lord. I ask that you cover his parents and cover the doctors and the nurses and just the whole hospital, Lord. Just allow everything to go smoothly. Bless the doctors and the nurses' hands, anyone that will be in the room. Lord, bless them as well. Just allow this to be a safe and quick and easy delivery, Lord. And just another day for so much joy to just be brought into the world because there's another human being that's just going to be born. I'm so excited. Thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to just be here, to be able to breathe in the air that you have just so abundantly given to us. And thank you for just the opportunity to be able to see how abundant this world is and how you are as far as giving to us. Lord, I just want us all to just look outside, just look at the things that we have and just take in the air and just realize that everything is in an abundance and that is our birthright. And I just thank you for your willingness, the way that you give, the way that you love, the way that you forgive, the way that you just are. Thank you for just being a magnificent example for us to just follow. Thank you for just creating us. Thank you for our purpose. Thank you for the journey that we are on. Thank you for bringing us in this place of where we're talking about resistance. And thank you for today today on this call, during this live, for the people that are watching it live, for the people that are watching it on the replay, for the people that are watching it next week, Lord, I just want it to be that during this time and even after this time, you start bringing to their awareness the things that they need to work on, the things that they need to work through, the things that they were slightly ignoring, the things that they've been working on, the problems that have been attached to the root of the problem. They've been working on the tree. They've been working on the leaves, Lord. And I want you to get them to the root. I want us to attack what is truly the problem, because once we attack the problem, then it extends to those leaves, Lord. So I want you to direct them. I want you to be with them. I want you to comfort them, because you know growth ain't easy, Lord. So I want you to just extend your arms around them and just hug them. Just let them know that, honey, I got you. I got you. Just trust me. So, Lord, I just want, if for anyone on here that is experiencing a lack of faith, a lack of trust, a lack of belief, Lord, I just want you to just insert that and just help them, and just to whisper in their ear that I got you. Just trust me. Just trust me. So, Lord, I just ask that you put a pep in our step today. We are almost out of April, Lord, and I just know that there are people on here that have goals, that have things that they've been wanting to do, and they're looking at the calendar and they're wondering if this thing is going to happen, Lord. Again, I want you to whisper in their ear and let them know that you got them. I got you. Just trust me. This is only the beginning. You have so much in store for you. I've got you. Just trust me. So, Lord, thank you for being in this space. Thank you for just having my back. Thank you for having their back. Thank you for just covering this entire time that we have, this hour of power. Thank you for covering them as they're traveling to work, as they're traveling from work, as they're here with their babies, as they're here about to teach their children, whatever it is, if they're running errands, Lord, thank you for covering them. Thank you for keeping them safe, Lord. And I just ask, as I always do, less of me and more of you. I just want it to be where you just work through me, Lord. I am your vessel. So use me as you would like. Your will be done. Amen. Okay. So, all right, needed this word today. Hey, honey, look, I am telling you, after the week that I knew I should have brought some water. Dang, I ain't bring no water down here. That was one thing that I forgot. But after this week that I have had, I need the word too. I need the word too, because it's been rough. It's been rough. It's been rough, but in a good way. In a good way. And this is one thing that I was asked. I was asked by a friend of mine. Is just like, look, how are you remaining so positive, even though all this stuff is happening? All this stuff is happening around you. And I literally said to my husband the other day, and y'all, I'm not gonna get into detail with it now, because that's just not the topic of what we're talking about. But I am going to be, just like I done told you guys, I will be sharing the good, the bad, and what seems to be the ugly. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be sharing it. So my husband and I are going to do a video together, and then I'm going to do one as well. So we're going to go into detail of what has been going on, the lessons that we've learned, so that if anybody else is kind of facing similar issues, look, let's help each other, right? This is the reason why I'm doing this. But yeah, this week has been right. It's been something, and so that's what I was asked, was how am I staying so positive? Hey, Marlon. Hey, Nikki. How are you guys doing? Good morning. Thank you for joining me, y'all. Hey. Was how am I remaining so positive? How am I talking about these things that aren't the greatest, right? Or don't seem to be the greatest things? How am I talking about this and I have a smile on my face? How is it that these things aren't discouraging me in a way that it's stopping me? it's making me come back and say, you know what, look, things just keep happening. No, I'm good. Like, how am I continuing to press forward? And my answer or my response was, because I am so committed to becoming that highest and best self that I talk to you guys about so much and so often. You guys know my highest and best self probably more than, I don't know, or the same amount that I do, right? You've seen, y'all have heard about her. You know what she does. You know what she, shucks. You know everything that she's doing, right? What she embodies. So I've gotten so connected to her that I will not stop until I reach her. And then I tell you this, that once I reach her, there's going to be another level for me to reach. I'm not going to stop. So since I've become so committed to becoming her, everything that comes my way, I no longer see it as an issue, right? I no longer see it as a bad thing. I no longer see it as, oh, shucks, it's always something. Thank you. You said what? Oh, no, you're not. Y'all, I love my husband. I love him. I said I needed some water. And here he goes. He got it for me. See, those are the things. Those are the things that we have to focus on, right? What is going good in your life? And these are the things. This is why I am still up and I'm still like, it is what it is. Guess what, y'all? I'm gonna update y'all. I'm gonna be making a video about it. It's almost made. And you know what? Guess who hasn't made any money yet? Me. 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 But it is what it is. Like, these are the things, no matter all this stuff that is happening around us and these things that are coming, because I'm telling you, y'all, that video is going to be back with stuff, because things have just been, and that's what I was saying, is that I talked to my husband about this the other day, of just like, it seems that, or it seemed, I'm going to say that in the past because it ain't seeming anymore. It's over. But it seemed like everything around me was just crashing down. I'm just like, I'm just watching it. It's just like the building is on fire. There's multiple buildings on fire. And we are trying to put it out, but it's just not happening. And instead of it being water, it seems like what I'm trying to put on it is igniting the fire. Like, it's making it worse. So now I'm just sitting here back like, whoa, wow, why is everything just tumbling down? And that's what sometimes it feels like. But I encourage you guys to look at what is good. What is happening in your life that is good? Just like as simple as my husband bringing me down a bottle of water, right? After I just said it, and just look, I've got somebody who is tending to my needs. I've got somebody who loves me. I've got somebody who cares about me. I've got somebody who's there with me no matter what, through thick and thin. No matter, all these things are burning down, but I got something that's good. I got something that's right. It's okay. It's all right. And then, so what I was saying to that person is that, look, I'm inviting these things. Like I told y'all, I signed up for this, right? I signed up to be stripped. I signed up to be broken, because I'm that committed to becoming my highest and best self. So when these things are coming, I no longer am seeing them as bad obstacles, bad trials, things that are coming to hurt me or to harm me. They aren't there to hurt or harm me. They're there to strengthen me. These obstacles are there because, look, I need to get better. I need to be stronger. I need to be faster. So these things are coming, and if I keep hopping over them, right, then I get better. I get more equipped to handle the next one. and the next one, and the next one. And this is how it works. So if we start looking at, and this is why I said just really identifying who that person is for you, who is your highest and best self, who is it that you are aspiring to be like, who is it, like, even if it's qualities of different people that you're pulling out. Okay, this person is charismatic. Okay, this person is at peace. This person always seems like they have a smile on their face. I like that. I'm gonna take that. Even if you're taking things from different people, okay, compile it all and write this person down. Have it in your mind. When you close your eyes, you should be able to see that person. What are they doing? What are they wearing? How are they moving throughout their day? What are they thinking about? What do they do when obstacles come, when trials come? How are they reacting? These things we should know. So then now when we picture this person, when those things are coming to us, then we can just close our eyes and say, oh, look, leave me, because that is what it's there for. That, y'all, the I can't even explain it the way that I would want to. But if you become that clear of with that person, I tell you things will be easier. If you become clear, if you become focused on that person, if you become committed to that person, to becoming that person, you will have like a direct pathway to that person, right? It will be in times that you don't know what to do, you don't know how to react. Things are happening and it's just like, oh man, I don't feel good. Then it will be so connected to that where it feels like that person is honestly telling you, look, no, this is not what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do it a little different this time. We got to let go of our ego. We got to let go of this. We've got to let go of resistance. This is only being brought up to bring it to your awareness. Okay, so now we're going to take it and we're going to do something different. This is what I'm saying. You got to be connected to that person. So that is how I'm moving through, and that is how I'm still having a smile on my face. This is how I am still going forward. This is how I haven't abandoned any of my goals, any of my desires. These things are still there, and I'm still believing, I'm still trusting, and I will continue to do so. So that is what I want us to face. This is what I want us to focus on. And I love that you highlighted this, right? It is what it is. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. Man, there's so much that you said right there, because I want us to understand that everything is neutral, right? This is what we get. Everything that occurs in our life starts out as neutral, but it is our decision to make it a positive thing or a negative thing. That's us. So it's not that things are happening and then you're saying, "Oh, this is a negative situation." Like, it's not negative on its face. That is your interpretation. This is how you are taking it. This is how you are internalizing it. So you have that choice. You have that power. This is why I continue to say, and I will continue to say, that you are powerful. You have that ability to be able to say, okay, I am going to receive this as a positive thing, or I am going to receive this as a negative thing. And you know how both of these things are going to affect you and your growth. So when things appear to you, these things come neutral, right? But we know what we need. We should know what we need to foster our growth. So when those things come, we can decide, okay, am I going to receive this as a positive thing or a negative thing? Because I want it to impact my growth in a positive way. So I'm going to choose to receive it however you deem that you want to receive it. So things are, it is, it just is. Not good, not bad, it just is. And I want you to be in that moment of, it is. It just is. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel. It's okay to experience being upset. It's okay to experience sadness. It's okay to feel the feels. It's okay. Be in that, be in the moment, but understand that it just is. It just is. So, oh no, don't be late for work, Lord. Y'all, look, go. We got the replay available. Okay. You go get ready for work. Go get ready for work. Um, so I uh-oh. Here we go. Appreciate the transparency and faithfulness. That thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, but not only that, we even take pride in our problems because we know that trouble produces endurance. This hope doesn't put us to shame because the love of God has been poured out in our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Honey, look, this is it. Invite those things. So I'm going to touch on this resistance, right? So there are some things that, first of all, I want to, in this morning while I was brushing my teeth, right? This stuff was coming to me. So I want to highlight the ways resistance shows up in our lives, right? So I'm not going to touch on every single way, but I want us to start looking at these things and understanding that it is a sign of resistance, okay? So we've got fear, we've got doubt, we've got worry, we've got anxiety, we've got planning, right? Trying to connect the dots, trying to make sure that things are going to work before we step out, or whatever it is, things got to be perfect. That can be disguised resistance, right? So insistence on the outcome. So I want this to happen. Okay, we have set our goal, we have set our intention, but as we're working through, we're pushing to make it happen. Like we are dead set on how the outcome should be instead of being open to the unlimited possibilities in which it could manifest, right? So insistence on the outcomes, analysis paralysis. This is another form of perfection, right? So I've got to read every single book and know everything before I feel comfortable stepping out. You're just resisting. You're resisting what it is that you're actually supposed to be doing. So not wanting to be in the particular situation that you are in, right? Not wanting to be where you are and making that known. So a lot of times we are in a position and it doesn't feel good, right? We don't like it. I don't want to be. I wish, whatever it may be, if it's financial difficulties, right? Oh my gosh, I can't wait till we have money. So then we're not like this. I can't wait till we have money. So then we don't have to experience this. I can't wait till we have money. So then I don't have to do this. We point it back to where we are and we're speaking and we're saying and we're feeling the discontentment of where we are. That in itself is resistance. You are now, because a lot of times we say this because we're saying we legit don't like where we are, right? And we're looking at this other spot that we want it. We want this thing. And we think that that is focusing on the thing. We're focused on this thing and we're focused on there. And here in this moment, we don't like it. So we're focused on there. But when we're focused on there, we keep comparing it to here. So what is happening is that no, you're not focused on there. You're focused on the fact that you are lacking here in this moment. You're focused on the fact that you are discontent in this moment. You're focused on the fact that you do not appreciate this moment. So what happens is you get more of this moment. Okay? I hope that made sense to y'all because that happens a lot. And sometimes that just rolls off our tongue because we're being honest, right? We're being honest and we're being real about the situation. We don't like it. But if you don't like your situation, don't focus on the fact that you don't like your situation because that in itself is resistance. And what it's doing is it's resisting where you actually want to go. So the Lord is like, okay, I want to bring this thing to you. Like, this is what you desire. I have it for you. And what you are doing is in turn saying, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. And you're just pushing it back further and further and further. So I want us to start like understanding and being aware of the fact that, oh, wait, that's resistance. I see you. I know you. So let me get to the heart of the issue. So then we've got lack of gratitude. That's resistance. Depression. That's resistance. Unhappiness. That's resistance. Disappointment. That's resistance. Lack of trust, belief, faith. Those are all resistance. If you have a lack of those, if we are worried about something, this is the same thing. If you're worried, you don't have faith, right? If you're worried, you're not trusting to the magnitude that you should be, right? So those are all resistance. And negativity, that's resistance. Okay. So these are just little things, right? This is not all of the ways that resistance can show up, but these are some, and these are some of the things that show up pretty often, right? These are things that on a day-to-day basis, most of us experience at least one of these, one thing from this list. And then we can sit there and say, wait a minute, that is resistance. Like I know what that is. I know what it starts to feel like. So once you're pinpointing, okay, these things are these all can be resist. Well, it's not can. They are. These are all things that are resistance, right? That's the way that it's showing up. So we know what to look for, right? And so when those things come, then I want you to get in touch with your feelings. Okay. So it's like they work in tandem. We've got to know when we are resisting something in the way that I am talking about it. So we've got to understand that all resistance is not a bad thing. I know that it seems that way because as we're looking at synonyms of resistance, right? It's described as pushing, pushing back, right? Opposition, aversion to, refusal, unwillingness, reluctance. I mean, you don't get no worse than that. Those are all seemingly bad words, right? You don't want to be reluctant to things. You don't want to be unwilling. Like you don't want people to when you're giving something or when you're whatever it is, when the person is supposed to be receiving, you don't want them to do any of these things. If they have an aversion to what you're giving them, it's not a good thing. If they're opposing what it is that you're giving them, it's not a good thing. If they're unwilling to accept it, it is not a good thing. So we look at that as like, okay, now resistance, this is a bad thing. But all resistance is not bad. So even when we're talking about these things, fear, doubt, worry, blah, 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 this is why I was saying that sometimes, it could be, but really in all areas, it is resistance. But what I meant to say was that it's not always bad. When you have fear of something, when you're going into, whatever it may be, I don't know, you let's say you're in Florida, Florida got a special place in my heart. So you're in Florida and you're walking past the lake and then something just ignites in you. You see a little movement in the lake. And you're like, ooh, shucks. Ooh, you start feeling that fear, right? Okay. When I talk about leaning into resistance, I'm not talking about that one, not that one. So that's why we have to determine which resistance are we talking about, right? Not all areas of resistance are bad. So we've got to determine, once we feel resistance, we've got to start asking why. That's the magic question. I told y'all, to be able to get to the root of anything, you always have to ask why. Go deeper. Okay, we've asked why. Go deeper than that. Ask another why. Okay, ask another why. But we started with, okay, what are you resisting? This is why I said this. What are you resisting? In order to find that out, we really got to be in touch with our feelings, with what we are feeling when we're sitting there fighting something. I'm telling you, I told y'all this week was heavy for me. And one of the things was, I was having a conversation with someone and she brought up something and I felt all in my soul, it was just fighting. It was like, no. Like I sat there like this. But everything in me was fighting every word that was coming out of her mouth. So I'm like, It was just like, no, we're not doing it. No, absolutely not. I do not want to do that. No, absolutely. While she was talking, I was realizing that I was having this internal battle. And I'm like, ooh, okay. That's resistance. Why are you resisting this? And this is what I'm saying. We understand, we get to the point where it's like, okay, I see what I'm resisting, but why am I resisting it? So then once you ask those questions, once you ask the right questions, you can get to the heart of the issue. So if I'm asking, I asked myself why, and I saw why I was resisting this. And because of that, it wasn't the good resistance. It was the one that, okay, you need to be dealt with. And this is the one that I am going to lean into. I am not going to allow this to run me away because I am fearful of it, because it makes me feel uncomfortable, because this is different, because I'm stepping into the unknown and I don't really know how this is going to work. I don't even know how to do this. But I'm not going to allow those fears to keep me from what is on the other side. And this is what I'm like, this is what I want y'all to realize. When we are not getting to the heart of the issue, and we're not in the space of really facing what it is that's holding us back, and in the space to lean into that resistance, and in the space to be able to walk away from those things. Like I said, that relationship that ain't going nowhere, that job that's sucking the life out of you, those things, the habits that are breaking you. If you're not in the space of being able to recognize that, to be able to face that, and then once we face that, to cut ties with it, I want you to understand that you are blocking your blessings. You are. Nobody else, no situation. There's nothing else that's doing this outside of you. It's only you. This is why it's important for you to face those things and for you to say, okay, this isn't working for me. You are holding me back. So now I have to determine where you came from so that I can get to the heart of the issue. And then that is when the healing can begin. That is when things can start happening. That is when I can start stepping into this highest and best version of myself, when I really evaluate what is going on and what's going down. And when I really step into the fact that I'm going to cut ties with you. If you're not serving me, and this is how it should be, if you're in my life and you're not serving me, then you don't need to be in there. You don't need to be in there. You don't need to be in there. If you're not giving what I'm giving you, you don't need to be here. If you're not helping elevate me, you don't need to be here. If you're not helping me become that highest and best version of myself, you don't need to be here. We're not working. It's not working. Whether it be the habits, whether it be things that you like, whether it be your eating habits, whatever it may be, if it's not matching who it is that you're seeing and who you've identified, honey, that you got to cut ties. You got to let it go. Let it go. So when we're sitting there and we're feeling the resistance, whether it be you're talking to somebody and they bring it up like it did for me, you brought out something that you feel I need to work on, and I'm just resisting it. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So if it comes up like that, or whether you are doing something, right, you're involved in something, and then you feel one of these things and you feel the resistance, whether it's your boss is asking you to step into another position, asking you, do you want a promotion? But this promotion comes with you accepting more responsibility. And then you're questioning, oh, shucks, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be it, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know. You're questioning what it is that you bring to the table and whether you are enough for that position, whether you're worthy enough for that position. That is resistance. But now we've understood that this is resistance, but now you got to ask yourself, why? Why do you feel unworthy? Why do you feel like you're not enough? Why do you feel like you're not smart enough for that position? If that position was offered to you, do you not think that they don't see it? Why don't you see it? That is how we get to the heart of the issue. And so once we get to the heart of the issue, then I encourage you to just lean into it, even though you may be feeling worried, even though you may be feeling uncomfortable, even though you may not know how to actually do this. I don't know. I accept this position and I'm kind of like, it makes me feel a little bit because I don't want to mess up. Even if you're feeling that way, lean into it anyway, accept it, go forward, because what that is going to do is going to show. Now, let me tell you this, and I talked to one of my friends the other day, and one of the things that I was telling her is that when we sense this resistance, and I'm the same thing I'm telling you, when we sense this resistance, right, and we understand that this is something that could be potentially harmful for us in our growth, then we want to lean into it rather than allowing it to be one of those things that we're looking at it and we're like, oh, no, 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 I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go away from this because it makes me feel a certain way. It doesn't make me feel good. So our tendency is to run away from things that don't make us feel good and that make us uncomfortable. But I'm encouraging you to run to it, run to it, lean into it. So that's what I told her. But I had to preface that. I was like, look, but let me tell you this, because we were talking about it in terms of her resistance shows up when in the dating atmosphere, when we're talking about relationships and everything. So I had to tell her that, yes, lean into that resistance because there are things that you need to work on. There are things that you need to work through before we get to this part of marriage. And before you become, you have that marriage that you desire. There are things that you have to work on and work through. And the only way that you can do that is leaning into the resistance, because when you lean into the resistance and you allow it to take over, then those things that you need to work on are going to be brought into your awareness. The only way that those things come and continue to keep coming and are brought into your awareness is if you lean into the resistance. That is it. Because if you're running away from it, you will not, those things aren't going to come up because you're not even going to see it. You're not even going to be in a position where those things are going to be coming up because you're too busy running away from it. So you are running, now that you're running away from your resistance, think of it as you're running away from the person that you want to become. You're running away from all those goals that you set. You're running away from all those desires that you have. So we've got to start looking at it like that we are actually doing damage to ourselves if we do not lean into the resistance. We are actually doing ourselves a disservice if we are not leaning into the things that we need to work on and work through. So I told her that, but I had to sit there and preface this. And I'm like, girl, but do know, right? Just because you're leaning into it does not mean that you won't experience heartbreak. That does not mean that you won't get hurt. That does not mean that this thing is going to be a cakewalk. And then all of a sudden, once you lean in, you found your husband. That's just not it. Look, I hope that it does happen, but I want to let you know that it could be an instant that it does not happen. So in that, if that does happen, don't be surprised. Okay. Don't let it throw you off. Don't let it knock you off your path. Don't let it allow you to get off track and to deter you and to knock you off your focus, because those things are coming. Those things are going to happen. So when you lean in, I'm going to preface the same thing and I'm going to tell you the same thing. When you lean into your resistance, when you lean into those things, expect things to come, because that is what you want. You want things to come because that is the only way that you see the things that you have to work on and you work through. If you don't have trials, if you don't have bad days, if you don't have obstacles, how in the world would you get stronger? How in the world would you become better? You would think if everything just went smooth, you would have thought already that I've made it, that I don't have anything to work on. You wouldn't be digging. You wouldn't be sitting there, well, I'll wait. Nothing has come, so let me make something happen. You wouldn't be doing that. You would be kicking back and just like, because I'm that good. No, that's not. We always have something to work on. Just like I said, we always have something to work on and work through. So I want us to keep that in our heads when things come. This is how this goes back to me being positive through this stuff, right? And still working towards what it is that I want to work towards because of that commitment, because of the fact that I'm leaning into the resistance. When I feel it, I lean into it. I accept it. I say, okay, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling, but I welcome you. I want you to welcome that. Welcome adversity, welcome trials, welcome obstacles, welcome the stuff that's going to rip you apart, that is going to test you, that is going to stretch you. Welcome those things, because as much as you are being stripped, as much as you are feeling like you're being broken, as much as I was saying the things around me were just crashing down, right? And I was saying that it just felt like I had just, I was igniting the fires, right? When you lean into those things, what happens is that you're going to start seeing that, oh, wait, now instead of igniting the fire, I've got water. Oh, shoot, the fire is going out. All right, so we've got ash. The building had been crumbling down. Okay, cool. But then the more I lean into it, the more I'm going brick by brick, and I'm building it. I'm renovating it. By the time I'm finished with this building, honey, you aren't even going to notice the building. You aren't. It was there. It's going to occupy the same space, but the building is going to be totally different from what you knew before. Had it not been in that same location, you would have walked right past it because you wouldn't even have known. That's exactly who I will become. By the time I reach this person, honey, you ain't even going, it's going to be like, wow, she done did a whole, like, whoa. I wouldn't even have recognized her. Had she not had the same name, had she not looked the same, I wouldn't have recognized her. This is how your situation can be. Yes, it's on fire right now. Yes, it doesn't look that good right now. But the more you lean into it, the more you start asking yourself why, the more you start asking the right questions and getting to the heart of the issue and leaning into it and allowing it to really take up space. That's how it is. That's what your situation will become. Something that you would even walk past had you not been working on it. It would have been you'd have been like, oh shucks, this is my house. Oh my gosh, let me look at. Whoa, what, honey? Look, I don't get me started. Okay, so I want y'all to have a brand new house. I want you to turn that little cottage that you got into a full-blown mansion. Okay. That's what it's going to be. It's going to occupy the same land, but it will not be able to be noticed. Okay. This isn't something that anybody would see. This is something that you are creating. This is something that you are building. And I want you to know, leaning in, that is brick by brick. Okay. And sometimes even when you're leaning in, when you're putting the bricks up, sometimes it falls. Sometimes it falls. Sometimes you stub a toe. Sometimes it falls on your foot. It is what it is, right? It is. It just is. And so what you do is, if it falls, if it hits your foot, oh my gosh, you can feel it. Ah, that hurt. That hurt. Oof. Okay. But guess what? What's going to happen? You're going to pick that brick up, and you're going to put it right back. And that's what I want you to do in your life. Things are falling. Okay, cool. Things are falling only because you can put it back. And then now you can put it back together better than it was before. This is only giving you the opportunity, the time, and the space to be able to create something that's even better than was before. God is like, hold up, let me burn this down, because it isn't what it is, what I would want you to have. I want you to have something 10 times better. So a lot of times we're looking around and things are falling, and you're like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? Oh my goodness, man. Dang, this is my only house and it's burning down. But God is like, look, yes, it's burning down. Feel the feels. Okay, I know you're sad, but I'm telling you, I burnt it down because it's not even touching what I have for you. It's not touching what it could be. So start letting go and leaning in to that resistance and allow yourself to put that house back up the way that you want it to be. Allow yourself to see all of what God has in store for you, all the beautiful, things that He has to offer. But you're too busy looking at the ashes and you're just sitting there like crying over the ashes and just like, oh my gosh, this used to be my house. Instead of looking at all that it could be. Start focusing on what it is that you want it to be. How do you want your life to be? Who do you want to be? Who does that person look like? What is that person? If you're in a marriage, what does that marriage look like? What is your highest and best marriage? What is it? With your kids, what's the highest and best relationship that you can have? What do those things look like? And start putting it back together. Start putting your life back together. Start sewing those relationships, putting those things back together, brick by brick, and creating what it is that you want to see. All right. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. When I was speaking to the lady, right? I was speaking to her, and I told y'all I was resisting everything that she was saying. Just like, no, 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 no. And one of the things that hit me, and it was just like, boom, right? It was just like, it hurt. So look, you will be surprised what you gain once you let go. So I encourage y'all to let go. Let go of what it is. Let go of the resistance, right? The way that you let go of the resistance is to lean into it. So we're letting go of the things that are no longer serving us. We're letting go of the things that have no life left in them. We're letting go of resisting those things by holding on to them. We're letting it go. And we let go in faith that what we let go is now going to return to us in the form of what we desire, in the form of what it is that we actually want, what it is that we've been praying for, what it is that we are asking for. So let go. And once you do, I'm telling you, you are going to be like blessed tenfold. Let it go. Lean in. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. It's 7 o'clock. I know I started a little bit late, but it was only like 2 minutes, y'all. It was only like 2 minutes. But that's it. I think this was heavy for y'all too. So I'm going to leave it on that note. And if there's ever something that you guys are struggling with, or you have a question about, or it's like, okay, I get what you're saying, lean in, but I need it to be broken down a little bit more. Like, don't hesitate to ask. Like, ask. I know it's some people. I talked to somebody and they wanted to ask something, and so they ended up asking, but then they were saying, well, shucks, I have been wanting to ask, but I ain't really know. Was that a dumb question? Like, was that something that you would just? What do they say? There are no dumb questions. There aren't any, and when you're asking these things, it only helps you on your journey. There are things that I've had that I'm like, okay, I get the concept. I get how that could work. But in my life, how would that work? Like, what does that look like? Like, just break it down just a little bit more for me. I've had to do that so many times, like, it's not even funny. But if that is you, if that is something that you're struggling with, honey, ask the questions. I want y'all to be on this journey. I want y'all to be becoming the highest and best version of yourselves. I want it to be where you guys remain focused. And sometimes things come to knock you off your focus. So sometimes we need that person, or we need somebody, or we need something to help get us back on. Let me know. Let me know. I am here. All right. I'm not just here on Wednesdays. I'm here, period. So send me a DM, send me a message, write a comment, whatever it is, and I'll get back with you. And we're going to handle it. Okay. So we're going to get through this. We in this together, y'all. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that. I will see y'all next Wednesday. And next Wednesday is going to be May. I'll see you in May. Okay. Right. Okay. Yes. Next Wednesday is going to be May. Gosh. Oh my goodness. All right. So Have a wonderful, blessed day. All right, y'all. I will see you at the same time next Wednesday, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll talk to y'all then. Bye.